Okay, imagine this. Turning heat, like waste heat, directly into electricity. Or flipping it around, using electricity to cool something down instantly. No moving parts, no motors, nothing wearing out, just silent energy conversion.
That's sort of the dream of thermoelectric materials, right? And today, we're diving into a really exciting breakthrough.
Exactly. That's the core idea.
Yeah.
You've got two key things. The seebeck effect, that's where a temperature difference creates a voltage.
Right.
And then the peltier effect, which is the reverse. Electricity makes one side hot and the other cold. Now, people usually talk about the ZT factor for overall performance across, different temperatures.
The general efficiency measure.
Yeah. But today's deep dive, it's really focused on something specific, the peltier conductivity, especially at really, really low temperatures.
Why low temperature specifically?
Because getting efficient cooling way down there without complex mechanical pumps and stuff, that's a huge challenge.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so that sets the stage for the star of our show today, a material called, let me get this right, that's the one, tantalum palladium selenide.
And researchers at Nagoya University found something pretty incredible about it. They're talking about a gigantic peltier conductivity, like 100 amps per centimeter per Kelvin.
Yeah, 100 ACE.
I had 10 Kelvin.
Which is
What, minus 441 Fahrenheit. Super cold.
extremely cold. Think liquid helium temperatures. Realm of advanced science, quantum computing, deep space stuff.
And this material, its performance is 200 times higher than what's commercially available now, like bismuth telluride.
Exactly. Bi-Euro is the standard, and this just blows it away at that temperature. It's the highest ever recorded for a bulk material, actually.
Wow. 200 times. It's not just better, that's a different league. So what's going on inside this telluride? What makes it so special, especially down at 10 Kelvin?
Well, it boils down to its electronic structure. It's what scientists call a non-compensated semimetal.
Okay, non-compensated semimetal. Break that down a bit.
Sure. So in many materials, you have charge carriers, electrons, which are negative, and holes, which are like positive charge carriers.
Right.
In a compensated material, they kind of balance each other out perfectly. The number and energy sort of match. But in a non-compensated one, like this Ta-Ero-Ero, that balance is deliberately off.
Oh, wow.
You might have way more electrons than holes, or vice versa, or maybe one type is just much more energetic or mobile. And this imbalance means that when you apply electricity, one type of carrier totally dominates the process of carrying heat away. It's much more efficient.
Ah, okay. So the imbalance is the key. It creates like a fast lane for heat transport driven by electricity.
That's a good way to put it. That imbalance, plus the specific way the atoms are arranged in the crystal, it just creates these perfect pathways for energy transfer. That's where the huge peltier conductivity comes from.
Okay, that makes sense. So you mentioned quantum computers, deep space. You also mentioned MRI machines earlier. How could this transform those fields? Why is this level of cooling efficiency such a game changer?
Right. Well, take MRIs. They need superconducting magnets, which means keeping things incredibly cold.
Yeah, those big complex cooling systems.
Exactly. They often use liquid helium, involve pumps.
Oh.
It's bulky, needs maintenance. Now, imagine if you could use thermoelectric coolers based on this material. Solid state, no moving parts, super efficient at those temperatures. It could, simplify the design, make them more reliable, maybe even lead to smaller, more portable MRI units eventually.
Wow, okay. And for space.
Reliability is everything up there, right? Fewer moving parts means fewer things that can break in extreme cold or radiation. So a super efficient, durable solid-state cooler for instruments, that's massive. Or even using temperature differences on, say, Mars to generate a bit of power more efficiently.
Yeah, I can see how that's not just a little improvement. It fundamentally changes what's possible. It really does shift the thinking. So was finding this material just, luck, a shot in the dark? Or is there something more systematic happening here?
That's a really good question. And while discovery always has an element of surprise, this wasn't purely accidental. It really comes from researchers digging deeper into the fundamental physics, understanding how electrons and lattice vibrations, phonons, interact in these materials.
So theory guiding the search.
Precisely. It's moving towards what we call rational material design. Instead of just testing thousands of random compounds, you use theory to predict which types of electronic structures, like this non-compensated semi-metal state, should have amazing properties.
And then you try to make and test those specific ones.
Exactly. You target materials that the physics tells you have potential.
Okay, so let's bring it back to you listening to this deep dive. What does this all really mean? I mean, it's clearly more than just one new cool material, right? It feels like it signals a bigger shift. A shift in how we can even think about designing systems for energy conversion, especially in these really tough environments.
Absolutely. This discovery with Capodice
Yeah.
and learning why it works so well, that non-compensated state, it really changes the landscape. It
Yeah.
strongly suggests there are probably, many more good semi-metals out there, materials with similar beneficial imbalances
Just waiting to be found.
waiting to be found or perhaps even designed. We could be looking at a whole new generation of thermoelectric materials emerging, materials tailored for very specific, very high impact jobs, things we might not even be considering applications for yet. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other breakthroughs are just hiding in plain sight in material science, waiting for us to look at them with fresh eyes?